Try not to trip on your clipboard again. A soldier snickered as she passed, elbowing his buddy. Laughter echoed down the hallway like a sneer. She didn't flinch, didn't slow down, didn't give them the satisfaction. In a world of barked orders and bloated egos, she moved like a whisper, silent, precise, unreadable. To most, she was just background noise. Just another forgettable nurse in a white coat. A ghost in the halls. They never learned her name. They didn't care. Doc, bandage girl, the help. That's all she was to them. And still, she never corrected them. She patched wounds they were too squeamish to look at. Scrubbed blood from floors they walked across without seeing. Took the night shifts no one dared volunteer for. And when they laughed at her silence, her stillness, her softness, she just kept working. But they never asked why she moved like that. Until the day everything broke. No warning, no sirens. Just boots, heavy, commanding, final. The general had arrived. No one knew he was coming. But the moment he stepped inside the infirmary, it felt like gravity shifted. Flanked by two aides in silence thick enough to suffocate, he walked through the ward with eyes that had seen war and survived it. Every medic went stiff. Every mouth snapped shut. Even the cocky one stopped breathing. He didn't speak. He examined every drawer, every chart, every soul in the room, and then he saw her. She didn't look up, didn't shrink, didn't blink. She was wrapping a soldier's shredded forearm with clinical precision, hands steady as stone, like the general's gaze didn't matter. That made him stop. He stepped closer. "Where's your rank?" he asked, voice like steel dragged across gravel. She finally looked at him, not startled, not submissive, just present. "Sir," she said calmly, "you heard me." His finger jabbed at the blank space on her chest. No name, no rank. Why? The entire room froze. Time felt like it stopped breathing. She didn't speak. She reached slowly into her back pocket and unfolded a faded, creased ID tag worn down, like it had lived through things people here couldn't pronounce. She handed it over. Wordless. The general glanced at it, and his spine snapped straight. He saluted. Sharp, sudden, unshakable. The room gasped like it had taken a bullet. His aides locked in place, stunned. And in the same breath, the general spoke. "Captain." His voice didn't rise. It didn't need to. "It's an honor." You could hear the blood rushing in everyone's ears. The mockers, the loudmouths, the ones who called her bandage girl just hours ago. All of them frozen. She nodded once. No pride. No theatrics. Just doing what needs to be done. "Sir." But everything had changed, because that ID didn't just carry a name. It carried a legacy written in blood and silence. Special Forces medic, Black Ops, 2 silver stars, and a mission so dark, so buried, it doesn't appear on official records. She left the battlefield on her own terms, but never stopped serving. Now they saw her. Now they understood. The nurse beside her adjusted her posture. The officer who once kicked her out of a strategy meeting backed away. The soldier who cracked jokes earlier turned pale, and the general wasn't done. He turned to the room and dropped every mask with one sentence. "This woman has held dying brothers in her arms while mortar fell. She's dragged bodies through burning rubble and kept breathing when half her unit couldn't. And now she walks these halls quietly saving lives while you laugh in ignorance." He looked at her again. She didn't need a uniform to lead. She didn't need applause to be heroic. She's been a captain longer than some of you have worn boots. And then he walked out. No further explanation. Just the truth, dropped like a bomb. She went back to her work. Same hands, same silence, but everything had shifted. The room no longer whispered behind her back. Now, they stood out of her way. They listened when she spoke. They respected the space she occupied without asking for it. Because real power doesn't arrive with noise. Sometimes, it walks night shifts. Sometimes, it folds bandages with hands that once held rifles. Sometimes, It buries metals deeper than wounds and keeps the nightmares locked away, where no one else has to hear the screaming. She never demanded a salute, but when it came from the top, because true strength doesn't wear its scars on its sleeve. It bleeds in silence and still shows up for others. If that gave you chills, subscribe, smash the like button, and send this to someone who quietly holds the line while the rest of the world looks away. They deserve to be seen, and they damn sure deserve your respect.